Does not.
Fashion-forward people think, hey, look, I'm going to rock that. And they've got the confidence to do it. Let's do it, right? Game number 8. Wow. 9 games, maybe? Will this be the final hitch? Call it. Is it the final game?
I'm calling it right now. We're going game 9.
Ooh.
Is that a cat? Well, okay, we're going game 9. Let's see who qualifies from game number 8. We're going the distance, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're in your pajamas and you got the snacks ready, because it's about to be a long night. Well, here we are, game number 8, starting off with Breadman and crew, who have been very consistently going to the outskirts, going to resorts, and that's kind of been our manner, excuse me. And they stay there. Nobody tends to challenge them. They've got a good strat. It's just not working. They're so close every time.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't know if the strat's not working
It's
so
just
much as
so
it's hard to win against some of the other best players in the world.
Yeah.
Like, you can be doing everything right, and the circle pulls right into Tommy's face, and that's going to be a tough fight for you to take. Or someone catches you out. You know, you might be doing it all right, but that doesn't guarantee, especially with the inherent RNG of Warzone, that you're going to come out on top. But this is a team that since map 5 has had a chance to win every single map and hasn't been able to get it done. So maybe it starts here in map 8.
So,
other one over there, John.
Some of your squads
super interesting. Breadman lands very short, intentionally, from his teammates, potentially to mark people. Wonder if he's going for caches? Maybe, but I don't know what the strat was for. Maybe somebody in chat can tell me, but I mean, he doesn't get challenged.
Honestly, because they had a chopper last time.
Guys.
Nice.
He's just going sightseeing. He's hanging out.
Clearly so. Map number 8, you know, solid place to do it in. Well, but he at least joins his teammates. Matter of fact, he only joins Skullface.
Gas mask, and I got another PA.
I don't know if
really
perhaps they're spreading out to just try and find as much loot that they need as possible in areas that they don't anticipate people to be. But talk about a non-ideal start. That's going to be Biffle versus Lucky, and Biffle's team is on match point. I'll have to check, see how close Lucky's team is, but unfortunately Lucky peppered with too many shots by Biffle there at the end. Lucky's team is actually 24 points away from also qualifying into the top 100. Lucky, alongside Biffle, was one of the winners of the solo YOLO on Monday. He won map 3. But let's take a look at Scumman's team, also on match point. And keep in mind, even though they have already achieved the 100-point threshold and they're looking to win, continuing to accumulate points is very important. Because if you don't win, those points are still going to determine first, second, third, fourth, fifth, so on. Or rather, second, and so on. So you want to keep getting a nice amount of kills. Joewo's team still currently in first place with 155 points. Scumman's team at 139.
Scum and Irrational, Z-Doggy have kind of skated a little bit further than I'm used to seeing, and you do see now before you, Huskerrs is that team who's currently in 8th place, but Empathy was the big one who ended up qualifying in after that last game, that game number 7, after a solid victory, to join the likes of Joewo, Scum and Biffle, FIFA, Wars, and Rated. So 8 teams all into money at this point. See you later on the outskirts. Super Evan also almost there. Blast. There are and Hisoka, right? A team that I didn't expect to really make a big impact. I did at the beginning, but they haven't done anything today, with a real chance if they can just dethrone any of these 8 rosters in front of you.
And Daltouche right on the heels of everyone in the top 8, now just 76 points away from qualifying. And I know that that puts a smile on Hitch's face.
That's it.
The comeback is real. The glory will be theirs. The crown will be given. Maybe, probably not to them, but hey, it'll be given to someone.
It'll be given to somebody. They're happy to be here. They're making the content.
Getting out.
Much like
lagging. I should have had a free
the majority here. But let's transfer over now. We got Huskerrs on your screen. Quite literally the final boss in game number 6, taking down alongside that of Z-Smith, right? Taking down the trio of Joewo, Breadman, as well as Skullface. They had a very real chance. If they don't run into that trio, if Z-Smith and Huskerrs don't take them down, this tournament is over. This is quite literally the reapers of that opportunity, of that chance. And they're happy to be here.
Map 6, Reflections, was it? Because I wasn't quite sure in the chaos. Was it Joewo's team taking second place?
16 plates.
They did.
That is two second places. Now, the first one happened in map 2, so it wasn't qualified anyway. But a second place when you're right there.
You're right there.
You just need to win. I'm telling you, if that zone pulls anywhere else, or perhaps their team isn't quite lined up so nicely, then yeah, you're very right. This could be over, but it is not. It doesn't matter anymore, and we are on to map 8, trying to figure out what the best play is going to be. Last time, we saw this team go dead center of the map, all the way onto a roof, which is what they just pinged from someone else, until they were forced to rotate away. Although, surprisingly for both those teams, Scum's team was up there as well. I think both teams perhaps waited too long
You think from the rooftop?
to rotate, because it was those rotations finally when they were forced off the buildings that spelled their demise. They just couldn't manage to make it.
Yeah, and you got to consider too, the mortar strike also forced them off, but you're right, I think they waited a little bit too long. It's one of those things where they just wanted to wait it out as long as possible.
I mean, it's a gamble. It could have pulled to them.
It is, because you've got Tommy who's sniping on the other rooftop, right? And then you've got the other crew, Huskerrs and them, who are, obviously trying to jump off. But they made the gamble. They tried to make the play. It didn't work out. And now you want to talk about being deserted, right? No one is around them. They are at the peak of nothingness, and they're perfectly fine with it. You mentioned last game, hey, maybe they're playing a bit boring. Boring is fine, especially given how the end game's been.
I mean, you cannot critique them for being passive in their play style, because they're trying to win this game. They've been aggressive enough over the last 7 maps.
Yep.
All that matters is this win. That's a wild pot shot to take, but I respect it. But it does look like they're going to want to try and find somewhere a little closer to the shoreline to work with. As I say that, I don't have eyes, so they're going to take that zip. They are getting some shots in, though.
We have a car here, though.
Okay, so they're not fully committing.
Yeah, just get up in the air, see the area around you if there's anyone nearby.
You just try and just snipe him if you can, Huss.
Not a bad play. Happens all the time in BRs, happens here in Warzone.
Get to you first.
Huskerrs is being that insurance policy, kind of staying behind as much as he possibly can, especially with the sniper, which we expected that to be with the rules, right? Only one sniper allowed. Huskerrs is most likely going to be the one who's going to hang back. The other two will be the tip of the spears to push up.
Are they right next to where...
Yeah, right, very close.
Right next to where Tommy's team is,
Very close, yep. 100%. I think that's them,
that's them. They're looking at them right now. So this could be a huge showdown between these two teams. And, well, Breadman forced to scurry away, I believe, that snipe back from Huskerrs.
And in armor.
Shaving a little too much hair off the top.
he can afford it.
He does have beautiful hair. It's upsetting how nice his hair is.
It is very nice. Very nice.
So at that, just
gotta get some pointers, man, because my forehead's starting to grow. That hairline continues to rock back at 32 years old, and I can't stand it.
Just get a Sharpie, color it in, you'll be fine.
Yeah, you think that'll work?
Yeah. I don't think anyone will notice.
Okay, I'll try it next commercial
no,
break.
but Disaster, take a look at that. That is Tommy. They said all the way on the beach. Breadman is taken down. That was Tommy striking first. That was actually a pretty cheeky little play to just make that long rotation around the beach. And now you've got them in this pinch. Take a look at how effectively they are situated in a 3v2 with streaks overhead. But now they're going to come in. The Semtexes are out. They're going to make the push. Could potentially be a full wipe here for Joewo's squad. This is going to be Breadman's body that they are currently looting. Danger for the team that has been at match point for the longest. What in the world?
It's quite personal, isn't it? Tommy will fall.
I'm selfing, don't worry.
He needs to get the self. He tells his crew, just continue to do what you're doing. I'm going to be just fine to smoke for the cover. He can go ahead and dip out. That, I believe, is a third party. They go into the building, and I want to say up top is the other. Actually, it's not. They've been finished off. This is Breadman inside, going against Smixy, qualifier for World Series of Warzone. Global Finals, and not going to be an easy opponent to take down, but good shots. Gets a little bit dicey. Breadman stays alive.
Breadman stays alive, and that's huge because both of your other teammates are also in the gulag, which means Tommy's team, I don't know if they lost someone in the process, but it's going to be a risky play to go back to that building. You can see hovering right above, trying to take a look. Let's swing on over to Lucky. Now, Lucky's team, they are not at match point, but if they have a good game, 24 points, they will be there if no one closes it out in map 8. winner of map 3 of the solo YOLO portion on Monday, taking home 20K. And here's FIFA, looking as well, one of the top 8 teams to get it done in map 8.
We need 1,000.
They're all 3 alive. That's important.
Bomb drone.
You're not allowed that. No, not allowed that, bro.
You hear him marking the bomb drone. You're not allowed that, brother. Don't do this now. Game number 8. Do not use a bomb drone. That'll be the worst case scenario.
That would actually be catastrophic.
Wouldn't it? It would just be all he has to do is deploy it once.
You can't. Yep, you cannot.
And then it's just fried. It's tough after that, but they know what they're doing.
Bomb drones, breacher drones, all cluster mines as well. All of those are banned in this tournament, so you see it. You ask the question, you do not touch it. They'll spot at least one in a helicopter here. You choose to go for it, leave it alone, looks like for the time being. They spot multiple flying in up onto the roof, and there's a ton of players in this area. Take a look at that. This could be a potential great third party for them if they choose to go for that.
It definitely could be, and it's a question, is that roof worth fighting for? It's a long trek up. They have a building right now that they're currently using. Every team would have to push into them, but is it worth it? Is it worth the fight? It might be. I don't think it is, so they're going to go ahead and plant their feet and stay where they currently are. They're not shooting. Well, now they're shooting. He wants to take them down if he possibly can. I really thought he was going to go ahead and hold what he's got, but he says, well, might as well. But notice how they do. They shoot. Now they're dipping. Oh, they wanted the truck?
I can't find it. I don't know where it is. I think it's above us somehow.
And now it's not. It's blown up.
No. RIP to the truck. Hopefully not RIP.
That's risky. This team's on green ping, bro.
Looks like they're just trying to figure out where they want to go. Let's swing over. Biffle's team also at match point. Alive and well. Shifty scurrying away. Is peppered by a few bullets in the process, but okay for right now. But all of them in such close proximity as we get toward the end of the Circle 3 close.
I mean, I've got guns, Lee. You should just buy your guns and just keep
But Thief needs to be careful. Again, resource management is so crucial for these teams. You have to make sure you're topped up on plates. If you can get the gas masks, the smoke grenades especially are critical to your ability to survive till the very end.
Yeah, smokes are everything, especially in these chaotic end zones. You got a lot of open ground to cover. Smoke sometimes is the only play that you have. Now, they are within zone. We are going to see an updated fresh mark. Underpass play, potentially. That building is looking pretty tasty. They want to go for it. Self-revive for Biffle. He should be fine. Shifty is covering up front, but Shifty is not there for long. What a clutch play! Shifty nearly dying. Biffle gets to kill where needed. He cannot get the second, and now he loses 2 of his teammates. They're down and out. Biffle has to stay up.
You have to leave, and that's exactly what he's doing. You have the money, you just need to be able to get to a buy station, but a very tough situation for them.
There's one on your building to your right, closer.
Yeah. Biffle getting the comms from the rest of the team.
I want a portable.
Trying to figure out how to make this play.
You'll probably throw it.
You might be able to get the portable.
And look, if Biffle's the last player alive, I'm going to at least feel pretty good about his chances here.
100%. I mean, after all, he is a solo YOLO winner. Let's keep that in mind. Granted, anything goes, so it's a bit different, but he did win. So he knows what he's doing. He's waiting it out. You were listening to the comms. Potentially a portable buy station, right? So he can double back to where those body bags were. Now, most likely that portable buy is going to be gathered up. I doubt it's going to be there. Whoever ended up eliminating them most likely is going to take it. But it is worth the wait anyways, and he is within the safe zone. So no reason to get too antsy, but maybe it's time to move a little bit. He's going to check it slowly but surely.
Okay, so
swing back over. Another team in contention, Huskerrs and Co. Still right around the water. I think it might be posted up. I think in Joewo's building potentially or somewhere nearby. They do have that buy station on hand that I believe Tommy is hovering around.
Huskerrs is eating, by the way. I just want to point that out.
The zip is moving.
Gotta fuel your game.
Game number 8
You
for
can't expect to win 6 hours into a tournament if you're not fueled up.
That's a fact.
He's still shooting at him right now. It's fine.
Okay. Just a full
keyboard might be a little greasy. But
it's just amazing how calm they can stay. Just eat 40,000 on the line. I'd be shaking. 100%.
Nah, I'd be cool.
You would?
Worried about it. Yeah,
for sure. You've been there. You've done that.
Oh yeah, many times over. You know me.
It's nice empathy. Believe they're up.
And this is the 8th team to join the list.
They just did.
They just won in the 7th game, and that secured them by a couple points. That 100-point threshold, but you gotta be able to survive these shots. Breaks the armor, not ready for the re-challenge, gets punished by Scraps. We have not seen a lot of Scraps and Co. throughout this tournament, but gets the better of them, and there we go. Breaks the armor. This is Joewo's team. They have managed to stabilize, which is huge after getting wiped by Tommy's team down by the beach earlier on. But now at least one player knows they are here. This is where you have to be careful on how you choose to push this. Joewo checked the corner, but let's take a look. This is now Intex and Cranks in a 1v1 in the Gulag. Intex not willing to be too aggressive yet. Spots out Cranks, goes for the shots, but I think it's the headshots that come out on top.
Cranks, the new addition to the Aydan roster. Cranks, they believe in him. They add him in, rated as out. And they've kind of had a bit of a lackluster day. Granted, they're slowly but surely moving up the leaderboard. Now, granted, sitting in 16th place with like 56 points, but winning that Gulag, there's always a chance. We've seen that time in and time again. There's always a chance, man. We've had a new winner pretty much every single time.
I mean, you had teams that were in the 50s when Joewo's team was at 100 points that are now in contention to win. So you could certainly keep going. As Lucky, nice 7 eliminations so far.
And they're trying to make it in to the top.
Yeah, and they need 24 points.
So they need these elims. They need this win. Lucky playing with Prospect, clumsy. This roster has been very slow so far, but consistent. They're consistently making their way up to break in, to potentially have a chances here. They are in contention to potentially win at least to break the threshold of 100. But now 43 players. Okay, as you know, once this zone closes, they're going to start dropping like crazy.
Well, take a look at the circle positioning, though. It could actually be setting up fairly well for Tommy's team that's still down by the water, because they're not totally on the edge yet. But take a look at this. That's a team wipe onto Teep's team. That's FaZe Neo, the final one to fall through Shifty. But they have been able to stabilize.
How did I just donate?
And this is where you know. More than one person's in that building ahead of you. You've got to see what happens with this circle. You have 40 seconds to find out. You spot one out in the open as the train comes through.
There's a buy in front of me right here, too.
It is pretty amazing. You mentioned stabilize. Very impressive, Biffle, to stay alive as he did and get them back up. And you do see a couple portable buys and that shot. I wonder if one of those portable buys is what he was waiting for to ultimately get his teammates back in. So what looked like it was not going to work out clearly does. $9,000 to their name.
Yeah, the
plenty
gold
of
gas mask, utility. I mean, again, you said it, right? He did not have a lot. He had like 3 or I think 5K to work with, and now they're in the position they are in.
Right.
So a testament to their endurance in moments like this. But let's see where this pulls. This could be huge depending on the team it pulls for.
Watch your back, honestly. They can just nade us.
Once again, the closer it pulls to the beach, the better that is for Huskerrs' team.
Picking this window.
And it does. Okay, so
wow.
Gonna be hard not to get carried away, but that is looking great for Tommy and his crew. Biffle, Shifty Sage, they've got to rotate in. They're taking a little bit of damage as to be expected. Smokes have to be used. Can they even go into the building? There's just a sliver that is going to be okay, maybe at the top, but they've got to just avoid it, and they have to watch the rooftop. The rooftop at this point is going to be the deadliest thing that they have to get through it. For that reason, Biffle is down, but not out just yet, but they're in dire straits. Can Biffle get back up?
Oh no, the answer not meant to be. Mutex takes him down. We do also have an update. Joewo and Wars teams are both out of contention. That means 6 other teams, including the one on your screen right now, Opportunity. But how many do we see all funneling in and collapsing into this one specific area?
They have to.
This is looking better and better for Huskerrs' team as all of these players are killing each other, attempting to get to the water.
That's Lucky, a team that is looking to keep this tournament alive now down. It's not a team wipe, though. There still is 2 remaining members, but they've got to break the gas. And who's ready for him? FIFA, and he takes them all down. Lucky's team finished off. Another team that might not, or excuse me, won't be able to upset anymore. Doozy also got another team trying to break the 100-point mark, but from the air, one of the players gets taken down, and that was, in fact, a PA. FIFA loses a teammate. He's now all alone.
All alone. Does again have the gold gas mask to work with, but that is disastrous to lose everyone in a situation like that. Will crawl toward this circle. Not a bad play to be certain. That was FaZe, that was Swagg, who was taken down just a moment ago. But this circle is prime time for Huskerrs team, and this is exactly why. They have hovered on this beach consistently. They have not left, and I don't think anyone else has picked up on that positioning the way they did from the very beginning of the map. So very good awareness from them. We're going to see who you just took out. That is going to be Huskerrs taking out flanked. Another team that's trying to work their way up. 11 players, 6 teams, and things are all pointing in the direction of Team Huskerrs right now.
If you are a Tommy fan, get loud, get proud, because it looks like they might be able to do this. Mortar Strike is called in. Another player should fall, but barely gets behind cover. Now down to just 6 remaining players. 3 are on your screen right in front of you. Nobody's in the water. Everybody's in front, but a little bit of trouble. Tommy will fall. Z-Smith forced to go big. Z-Smith luckily doesn't fall. Huskerrs, though. Huskerrs manages to get exact. We're now down to just 1 remaining player that they have to finish off, and it's either going to be Z-Smith or Huskerrs who've got to get it. Katie, this could very well be the final moment.
And this is Shifty versus Z-Smith and Huskerrs, and this is going to be incredibly difficult. They try and get those out of the sky as quickly as possible. This is going to be so difficult. For Shifty, goes and breaks the armor initially, will have potentially the gas pole, doesn't really have much gas mass to work with. Tommy's team can win it here. In the 2v1, they have the numbers. Tommy taken out of the sky, Shifty not giving him a chance to regroup, but the push comes in. Z-Smith takes the pot shots around the corner, can't connect, does have Huskerrs at his back for the support. What can you make happen? They get some of the headshots, not enough to break the armor, but it is heading toward Shifty. Can you isolate a 1v1 to keep this alive? Can you make it happen? Can you figure out where he is in the smoke? Shifty getting a little weird, trying to keep things alive. Reflections.
That's right, Shifty last alive. Either one of these teams are about to take the victory, about to take the final game, about to take $40,000, and it is going to be Tommy, Huskerrs, and Z-Smith working their way back up, breaking into top 8, but doing even more than that. They win $40,000.
Oh my God. Match point, baby. He was on the biggest team in Warzone history, gets dropped this year, wins a solo dolo for $20,000, and then go ahead on and he wins the 40 racks. First place for Tommy. You've got to feel great for him, teaming with Z-Smith and Huskerrs. Huskerrs back on top as well, reminiscent of his Verdansk days. What a fun tournament to watch, man. What a you guys, amazing call at the end too. That's exactly what you want from a competitive BR. You want that match point, and you want people to duke it out at the end. And Shifty is a scary person to go up against in the 1v2.
He almost had it too.
He almost had it.
There was a certain point, Katie, I really thought if there's anybody that can do it, it's the global finals winner of Shifty. But he just couldn't isolate. You made a great call. He was trying to isolate 2 1v1s in that 1v2, and he just couldn't do it.
Just couldn't do it. Didn't have enough cover to work with either. I think if it pushes more toward that building and you have time to try and finesse, maybe pepper people with shots, you could make something happen. But someone would have had to make a misstep on the side of Huskerrs and Z-Smith, I think, for Shifty to take advantage there. It was incredibly difficult and wasn't able to get it done. But wow, I mean, what a potential comeback they had, of course. So that that will be Team Huskerrs coming in first place. Not something that I expected, to be frank. But we'll have to see how the rest of the teams in the top 8 play out as well.
Pretty nutty, to say the least. And nutty performance from Lucky, by the way, in this final game. He was making a great argument as to why he deserved to be past that 100-point threshold. Ultimately, he doesn't get it. Tommy, though, and you know, you pointed this out, Katie, very early on. They just were hugging the edge. They were hugging that the edge of the zone right towards the shoreline. They didn't leave that pretty much for, like, I don't even know, what, 10 minutes?
They didn't leave it the entire map.
Were they there the whole time?
They were there the entire time.
That's
so
crazy.
I would actually like to go back and look at their comms or how they identified from what seems to be the very, very beginning that that's where they needed to stay. I don't know if they were doing contracts or something else, but no one else picked up on that beach play. I think aside from the challenge they had from Joewo's team, no one else really threatened them. So all of these teams getting funneled into each other outside of the hotel picked each other off, and if you're Tommy's team, you're just sitting there at this point because no one even knows that you're there.
Keep checking your right, Smith. Keep checking your...
Wow, I would love to see Tommy's reaction after the dub.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's even possible to pull up, but if not, I will go home and immediately watch it. But what a tournament, man.
Wow.
What a closing moment, that ending moment. And you see Z-Spit getting super hype. I'm super happy for those guys. And yeah, they played it to perfection. I mean, they got lucky on the zone, but it's not always just about the zone pull, because we saw zone pulls to many teams that got absolutely fried today.
Yeah.
When the zone did pull to them. So congratulations to Huskerrs, Tommy, and Z-Smith. They are your OpTic $200,000 Warzone kickoff winners.
Incredible. Good stuff coming out from them, and this big celebration, much warranted. Look at the tweet actually going live now from Huskerrs, getting the congratulations for whoever's in his house. And rightly so. Just absolutely phenomenal job. And a big win. Wait, is Tommy? He was rubbing his eyes like he was tearing up.
I mean, you had a rough go of it through the entirety of Al Mazrah,
Right.
and you're kicked off your team. Granted, I don't know the situation. Maybe it was an amicable part. Don't know. But it's consistently been lackluster from what we expect out of a player like him. And maybe there were those self-doubts. You know, maybe I don't have it anymore, right? Well, here you go. You won in the solo YOLO portion of this event. You won here in the trios portion against some other very good teams. Z-Smith, Huskerrs, and Tommy, I didn't really know how they were going to mesh well together.
Right.
Potential personality clashes. But starting out a trio like this with a win certainly helps cement that. I love it for Z-Smith so much. He is one of the kindest, most genuine folks in the scene. So I really, really love to see this for him. He looks just as emotional as he did. I was casting him the very first time he ever won a tournament. And it was that same, he was in his garage with no heat when he won his very first tournament.
Wow.
And now he's here, and now he's getting it done, and I couldn't be happier for him. Huskerrs as well has been at it forever, came out hot in Verdansk, and has had ups and downs since then. So to see Huskerrs start this map this year on such a high is a wonderful thing.
And to even see Huskerrs so close to global finals, not making it, and then ultimately getting a shot to compete there, it was a big deal too, and raised a lot of eyebrows. And he went there and he did not waste that opportunity. He performed incredibly well. And first tournament, right? The first competitive tournament, as far as I'm concerned, has concluded. And obviously, Huskerrs, Z-Smith, Tommy.